Inglewood straight out wide. Yeah, to try and pick up a bonus point win to keep them in touch with the competition leaders too, Copper. So round 2 between these two big front rows. Really waiting for the ball. And good actually backline structure once again. And Lewis back out, number 13, very busy player for Inglewood. And says thanks very much. So Inglewood draw first blood here at Vogeltown Park. The match day sponsor today for Old Boys is Peterson Barnes Building Company, and the club would like to thank all of their generous sponsors for supporting all the teams in this year's competition. And Wait gets Old Boys underway again. Nice kick, tends to number 8, tends to kick, and everyone knew he wasn't, and well covered there by the big lock, Dean Stewart. So Inglewood punch it up down this left hand side. West, lovely pass actually out to the big number 1. He turns in the tackle, and Stewart's back into the defensive line. So about 3 metres out from the Inglewood line. We've got some forwards there just ready to rock and rumble. There's Stewart. He unfortunately stands up as he charges around and just gets knocked backwards a wee bit. But Old Boys do a great job of cleaning out. The referee signalled a penalty for offside. So Old Boys playing under advantage. And once again, Brighouse showing a lot of strength, a tower of strength there. Ball out to Wait, bit of a missed pass out to Cody Ray. Lovely once again, goes deep inside the 22. Picked up by the number 6. He brings it out, runs it out strongly. Good carry, still charging on. And places it nicely for West. Good out actually from Inglewood, just watching the front rows come up. Good play there, and the number 15 just tries to pop outside the Old Boys centre. Adam Smith, good defence, come up well. Back to Ben West, flicks it infield through to the number 7. He charges up. Looks like a bit of a strip there from Old Boys, actually well played. The referee goes, no, sorry, you can't do that. You're on the ground. You've got to roll clear. Which could have been a bit of a harsh call because the lock, Jordan Roylands, looked to be going, sort of attacked a player in the ruck and stripped him with the ball as he was going down. But obviously it's a bit of a soft penalty for Inglewood, and they say thanks very much and nudge it down the paddock to take themselves inside the 10 metre line of his half. And a good throw there and a good take, actually lost twice at the back of the Inglewood ruck. So they'll be a bit disappointed with the control and the line-outs Inglewood at the moment. They're looking quite good in other aspects of their play. Their scrum is strong. They've got backs who want to use the ball. And at the minor, there's a lot of pressure going on. So what should have been an easy win, two-handed take, flick down and then out to the midfield, was just made hard work.
And they've got the best analyst in town. They've got the best analyst in town.
So just over 20 minutes into the game. Old Boys haven't had much ball, so it's a good hit. Once again, it's a good solid hit. And the referee's saying he went early. And then Bosch buck around, he just taps to himself and charges. Nice run, a little flick pass out the back to Roylands. He charges on 2 or 3 metres. Good clean out. Lee comes in a bit slow out to Valentine. He dodges past the first defender, gets sort of ragdolled around. The referee's putting his hand up probably for a head high. Out to the Old Boys second 5. He pushes off 1, pushes off 2. Still going, takes the ball, and well done the Inglewood 10 actually. But by then 2 other players have joined, so that forms a ruck. And of course there's no hands in the ruck. So it was a wee bit pity. It was a nice run by the number 12, Sayasi Kwakata. The old boy's second 5, and he just needed to straighten up a wee bit, and he had Cody Ray just sitting in second gear on his outside shoulder, and of course out wide Jack Carrington, who's been a try scoring machine so far in club rugby. He was just idling as well, waiting to go. So the referee calls Inglewood for offside, and Daniel Waite to step up from the 10 metre line. So 22 minutes into the first half, and Waite taking his second shot today.
Can you just check the power switch on the, the Wi-Fi booster against the window? Yeah.
And that's a great nudge by Waite rather. Fantastic kick on his 10-yard line. It landed well past the dead line. Dead ball line. So
I think
he's got 50 metres in him today, that's for sure. A bit of wind behind him.
Okay.
So a good comeback from Old Boys. They defended well on their line. They just pushed their way up the paddock. Once again, it was an Inglewood line out. That's 3 times now Inglewood were given away key possession from the line out play. And the number 10, Cody Hall, gets him underway again. O'Shea up again, well taken. Just absolutely, he says thanks very much, picks up a few more metres. Inglewood number 1. And Inglewood just knocking into touch. So once again, it'll be interesting how they go on this line out. They're using a 4-man line out. They've got plenty of height there at number 4, Brooke Harvey-Smith. And they've got lifters who are strong enough to get them well up in the air. So it's probably just timing in the issue at the moment with Millennium Sarubi. And this time he hits his target. But no, the referee's saying not straight. We get up to number 5 line out for Inglewood, where they've failed to retain the ball. After 28 minutes, they'll be pretty disappointed with that. Although they are playing into a bit of a wind. So still 6-all here at Bogletown Park. Good sized crowd. So it'll be interesting what Old Boys do from here. Daniel Waite's gone deep into his in-goal area. So interesting what sort of exit play Old Boys get up to here. Waite comes up now down the blind. He's sort of unmarked. There's plenty of space there at the moment. The halfback for Inglewood, Ben West, he's drifted wide. They've dropped the winger right back, which could be a bit of a risk here actually. You don't often see defence like that. So that's number 14, Michael McDonald. He's virtually back on the 10-yard line. So if Boschia, who's been in tremendous form this year and is a very quick runner, if he can get the ball away, then there's probably space down that blind side for Old Boys to make some inroad. Once again, it's a big hit. That's a good scrum from Boschia. Comes out the open side, passes it up the second 5. He charges through in a good strip, I think, with number 8, but he loses the ball forward. The referee gives Old Boys a bit of an advantage. But hard done by there, Inglewood, actually. He did a good hit and strip and then lost the ball forward. And the Old Boys player flopped over it, and then he had a second go at it. And the referee said, no, mate, it's hands in the ruck, just let it go. So Inglewood give up a penalty. And Cody Ray says, hey, let's get out of here. And that's a great nudge. Fantastic kick. Takes play 40 metres down the paddock onto the Inglewood the Inglewood 10-yard line. And because it was a penalty, you'll see the Old Boys hooker, Caleb Mawson, feet to the line out. And good throw by Mawson, finds Boschia in the middle, straight out to 10 and 12, and that's a good charge and run, and this is more like it from Old Boys. Quick turnover ball, good pass from Wade out to Cody Ray. Oh, he gives it away, unfortunately. It just bounces forward. We thought it was a pass out to Carrington, but it went to the number 11. And good turnover play here by Spotswood, feeds it out to the number 6. He steps twice around the defender. He's got a great stride. It looks like Jordan Tafua when he winds up. And once again out to West, he brings it back to the right hand side. 10 has a look out to his wing, not much on here. Good tackle there by Jackson Carrington. And the 10 does the job of the halfback. And well done from Old Boys to actually block that pass. Referee called a knock on, but there wasn't much in it. So nice wide pass out to the number 1. He does a step, does another step, good little offload. Out to the number 9, the referee saying play on. So Inglewood showing a wee bit of enterprise here. Bad luck once again. The player, the number 6, did a good job. He engaged the Old Boys defender. North got help and then just delayed his pass a wee bit and popped it up. And the number 14 for Inglewood, Michael McDonald, he couldn't take the ball on the run. Knocks it on. And we're back to the scrum with Old Boys put in. So some enterprising play. Probably players will be a wee bit disappointed their skills are letting them down, but of course there's a lot of pressure because the defenders are getting up quick and not a lot of space for these guys to operate in. But it's certainly a bit of an arm wrestle here at the moment. It's a key part of the game, approaching 30 minutes of play, and of course it's still 6-all. Old Boys are looking like bringing in their blindside winger, so it could be a running play. Great scrum once again from Inglewood. Lily does well to stretch and get it out. Oh, lovely pass. Straight out to the big centre. He passes it on to Adam Smith. He charges up. The winger, the fullback comes in. Good clean out actually from Old Boys. And cause of offside from the sideline, but I'm not sure about that. But good play there. Galentine unfortunately knocks the ball on the base of the ruck. Had a look before he went. So a nice play there by the Old Boys back line. A delayed pass by Wade. He ran really hard at the line. And Siasi was open to the opportunity and carried the ball strongly, but the Inglewood fullback came from nowhere, tackled him out to through and past Adam Smith, and he probably had an opportunity to zip out to the right to feed Carrington and Ray. But took the tackle, and then Inglewood scrambling defence did well to get back. So 33 minutes of play, still 6-all, and we go back to Inglewood's put into their scrum. A good scrum by Old Boys that time, flicked out by Ben West and number 10 from Inglewood, unfortunately. Pretty good kicking going, kicks out in the touch, and possibly the worst outcome for the Inglewood team because they've gone backwards on the play and they've given the line-out play to Old Boys. And Old Boys have looked quite good with their line-out. You'd have to say Caleb Mawson, he's got a fantastic throw. Royland's thrown straight up in the air, gets that ball back, and Mawson comes in on the back of the maul, and they start crabbing sideways. Lee says, thanks very much, I want the ball. Yeah, great cut-out pass to Cody Ray, out to Carrington, he's down this right-hand wing. He just runs hard and straight, great covered defender. Defence tackle by Avon Lewis, the centre, comes across. The number 12, Old Boys, he charges up, commits 2 defenders. They've got big numbers in the middle of the paddock. Old Boys out to the number 1, unfortunately turns in the tackle, loses a bit of momentum. Sets up the ball nicely, back out to Wade. He finds out Brighouse. Brighouse has a charge at the 2 big props. Out of Inglewood, rolls it over, and Lilly pings back the other way. Out to Roylance, he does a strong carry. Big tackle by the Inglewood number 7 over the top. And Lilly in there fishing it out, flicks it up to Bosia. He does a backdoor pass out to the 10 who feeds Wade, who feeds the 12. Good continuity here actually. And Lilly just pops the ball up to the number 8, Kalen Boshier, and it's kind of just fizzled out there, which is a real pity. Boshier was definitely not expecting the ball, and got a pop-up pass from Lily, and or 2 Inglewood defenders at the same time. Possibly an opportunity to go back the opposite way, and then just punch it up under the posts for Old Boys. They look good. They ran about 7-8 phases, and their feed to the line out. They lift the big man Dean Stewart up at the front of the line out. Oh, and great move by Old Boys from Boshi. He cleverly keeps the ball and just plunks it on the ground like a touch plant. And the player behind him looked like the big lock, Brad Valentine. Sorry, might have been Brent Tucker, the number 4. He put his foot on the line as he picked the ball up. So the referee's calling that Old Boys prevented the ball going 5. So he brings in for 15 for indirect kick. Bit of a jersey pull between the 2 props. And Old Boys will have the throw into the line out on the 10-metre line. They go to a short play, put a tight forward and a loose forward out the back line. A bit of a miscommunication from the Old Boys. Good diving pass there. Taven Lewis, the number 13. He takes the ball up. Good clean out from the number 8. West puts it up in front of the hooker. He looks a busy player too. He charges in. Loves carrying the ball, but he's held on the ground. He finally get to ground now. So West get his hands back on the ball. A good deep pass. Back out to Lewis. He sees a bit of a hole here. Great tackle on the top by the big prop, Don Big House. He does it really well. Back up to the 10. He runs through a bit of a hole. He saw a bit of a mismatch there. And offloads it to the 5. Tremendous cover tackle there by Daniel Waite. He recovers the ball, does a flick out play, and kicked on by the Inglewood winger. Finally gathered by the number 10, and it's definitely a try. So a really good hustle there by Inglewood. A couple of passes under pressure that Old Boys maybe not have made. Daniel Waite came across for a big tackle on the Inglewood defender just inside the 22 and tried to do a flick up pass to the left hand wing Adam Smith. No control there, and then the Inglewood number 14 Michael McDonald came through, bursting through, and just kept it at the toe. And unfortunately Brody Lilly couldn't get back in time, and the number 10 Cody Hall for Inglewood did really well, chased hard and rewarded with a try. So after 38 minutes of running time, there's finally a try here at Vogeltown Park. And that takes the score out to Inglewood 11, New Plymouth Old Boys 6, with the kick to come. So he's certainly keen on taking his time, that's for sure. And gives it a good nudge, and it's away to the right. So no extra points. So 39 minutes of play, and Old Boys come back to halfway. And at the moment, the 10 for Inglewood, Cody Hall, scored all of their points with a try and 2 penalties. And plenty of encouragement coming from the fans here at Vogeltown for the Old Boys team. Great kick. Daniel Waite, good height, comes in. Number 8 takes it well, charges into the tackle. Dean Stewart comes in for a second nudge at him. Ian West does a lovely pass to the big number 1. And they carry pretty well, this Inglewood pack, that's for sure. West once again goes back to that trusty left foot. Good kick, knocked on by the 10, flicked back there by Waite, kicked through by the number 7. And probably a wee bit of bad luck there for Inglewood if they were able to hang on to that, the number 10. And could have been really interesting because they had Old Boys going backwards and they had them exposed kind of both sides of the paddock. Took good pass there by Lily. Takes out, knocks out by Cody Wayne. Does really well. Takes on 3 tacklers. Gets the ball out to Boshier. He hits the line up, hits the ground. The good guys are asked to let go. There's a couple of mismatches out here with Daniel Waite. He tries to. So when he's doing the coding reps, okay.
Okay, how's the TV looking now? Okay. Thanks. Cheers, mate. Yep. Bye.
How will that marry up with the video?
Now it's
I'll do some magic after the game and take Billy's video, my code, and match the 2 up. Okay, nice. I'm really pleased.
now that's
Inglewood boys to the game really well.
Yeah.
Yes, I know that. And there's another half to come.
The big fellas then walk, but I don't want to say that. It's unfair on them.
House,
Yes, he'd love to do a lot of work. Yeah. So I take it the Crusader then.
Crusader Johnny Brothers. Crusader Johnny Brothers.
I like right. That makes sense.
where's Simon, Philip?
Down there somewhere, mate. Here we there. Him and their 6. We did the same school.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Same for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You keep an eye on them.
Yeah. That's good, great size.
Oh,
Good
there's
speed. Yeah.
Right there.
That's it.
Just, it's just work. It's always
Billy.
We're a try away from the win.
Yeah, I know, mate. I know.
We're a try away from the win.
Mate, you're back at my mum's here to watch you win.
So back in here at Rugbytown Park, and a bit of overcast weather coming in, a wee bit of wet weather, a couple of substitutions at half time in the Plymouth Old Boys team. Number 9, who's had a pretty lively game, Brodie Lilly. He's replaced by 20, Sean Waite. And then the other player is Dean Stewart, who's done incredibly well. He's being replaced by the big number 16, Toby Burkett. So ball out to Waite. He has a lot, dummies nicely, and then gets a second kick away in the middle 22 area, takes it out just outside the 22. So a good start here from Inglewood actually. They've got some good field position straight away. It's going to be interesting how their line out operates. It hasn't sort of fired for them in the first half. Once again, it's a bit of a struggle from the hooker and he's not able to nail that. So the referee calls a not straight and Old Boys get the advantage with their scrum. So there doesn't seem to be a lot of urgency at the moment to get things underway. The players are sort of taking their time to get set. A lot of pressure on at scrum time, that's for sure. So Sean Waite defeats the first play of the game for him. 11-6 to Inglewood, and deserved lead actually. They've stuck to their team plan really well. They put a lot of pressure on old boys. As Boshi goes straight round the side, no problem whatsoever. Does a nudge forward, the winger comes up, and good play actually. The 10 comes across, and the touch judge says, hey, it's actually out on the full. So possibly not quite the right kick there from Boshi. Maybe a little grubber kick down the paddock would have been better, because obviously the wind caught it and took it sideways. And back to the Inglewood scrum. So they'd come more towards the front, they jump at number 2, and that's more like it. That's probably where they need to be. Nice ball out to the 8. He does a good little tip pass to the big number 3. And out to Ben West, lovely pass out to the hooker. He's done well getting around the corner. He does a flicky out the back, and umpire's calling referee was calling advantage off an old boy's hand out to number 13. He tries to push a pass through to the Inglewood number 6, and over the ball. West once again reloading. Number 8 lined up, runners all over the paddock actually. And nice little pod, good turnaround tackle, great tackle there by Berghouse. And old boy straight over the ball. The referee says play on. Goes out the back. And number 15 better hurry here because he's got Boshi all over him. He hangs it on. And does pretty well actually. Forwards get behind him and driving over. So number 3 shows a bit of footwork. Once again, good defence actually from old boys. They've picked up about 20 metres so far. West has a look and says, okay, let's keep feeding it out. Good strip by Sean Waite. He shows his intelligence and just edges his way up the paddock. He recycles the ball nicely out to Daniel Waite. He has a look. 2 looks out to Cody Ray. A bit of a running play. And then nice, good cover actually comes across from number 7. And Waite's a wee bit slow there. Big clean out there by... Ooh. Big play there, just got absolutely dumped. Looks like a leg injury, unfortunately, to Boshi. And taken up by the old boys back on him. Wade has a quick look. Taken out by number 2, Callum Mawson. Back out the way, man. Good hands actually. And Adam Smith, fierce contesting over the ball actually. Luckily Boshi's up back into it, charges straight on, like a knee or an ankle into the Canadian top. So there's a lot of competition. Some real work going in that second phase, and if you're not in the correct body position, you're going to be found out. These guys are being some big clean-outs going on at the moment. So once again, good intent by Inglewood. Well done, actually. Old boys threw everything at them, and were only able to make about 20 metres. And then Inglewood defended stoutly and got the penalty in their first 5. Cody Hall, who's been pretty influential in the game so far. He takes him down midway, halfway in 22. And Shem Setu all the way from Auckland. Ex-scoreboard player in Auckland. A nice throw. There's more like it. Inglewood, number 4. Take it up. It's punched through by the number 6. Good positional play here. Inglewood, they're nice and tight. Forwards start rolling around the corner. There's some big carries. He's the big number 1. He offloads to the 7. It's pretty easy in the tackle. And West has a look and says, okay, let's go wider. Good bounce up play by number 12. Well defended actually by the Old Boys midfielder. Northcote Hill brings back the other way. Taken out the left by West. Good running angle there by Avon Lewis. It's shown weight equal to the opportunity. He comes straight across and cuts him down. So on the 22, Old Boys have got him off the ground, so the referee could be calling a collapse maul here. Inglewood working hard to free the ball up. It's not able to. And once again, good defence. So it's been a real feature of the game today, is the intensity at the breakdown and also the quality of the defence. So just about 6.5 minutes into the second half. Still 11-6 to Inglewood. And there's definitely not much in this game. So the referee just waiting for the halfback to do up his laces. And Old Boys to get the feed to the scrum just inside the 22. Got their backs lined up to the left. It's likely to be a blindside play once again out to shut weight. He gets the ball off to the second 5'8", and he does a pretty good job to get stripped and straight out to the number 6, and no mucking around. He just slides early. Good defence once again by Old Boys. Was able to flip him on his back. Wow, that was great defence, because it looked like for all money he was going to be straight under the post. And Cody Ray and Daniel Waite were able just to hustle their way back, and prevent the number 6, the big number 6 from Inglewood, from sliding over. So the referee's saying held up, so that gives Inglewood possession. And the scrum's been going pretty well. Just been favoured a wee back in the penalties in the first half. So Old Boys gave up 8 penalties to Inglewood's 5. And it certainly showed in terms of the advantage to the team around both possession and where they end up on the field. So a big scrum here, the number 8's got it at his feet. And we're just moving the way forward. The Old Boys flanker jumps offside. He was able to strip the ball though. The referee goes back, and it's penalty number 9 against Old Boys. So he did pretty well actually. The open side for Old Boys, Brad Valentine. He jumped off the side of the scrum thinking the ball was out, then went back in and was able to prevent the number 8 from forcing his way over. And Inglewood feel they've got a clear scrum advantage. So they're saying, hey ref, we'll take our penalty. We've got to scrum down again.
Not even 10 minutes gone.
Yeah.
Score here, we can't get it in that red zone and not score.
So Inglewood have split their back line. On the left-hand side, they've got number 10, Cody Hall, leading the charge. They've got Avon Lewis out on the far side. And they've got their 15 and 14 this side of the paddock. But you'd have to be a bit of a gambler to think that they're going to go any further than their 8-man. Because they're backing themselves up front today, Inglewood, that's for sure. Good hit and hold actually. Old Boys doing extremely well to hold them up. Number 8. Pick and go and straight over, no problem whatsoever. So West did pretty smart play there. He took off early and dragged the defending halfback with him. And then the 8 waited and was able to sneak through the gap. So 11 minutes into the second half, Inglewood go for their second try. And pretty well set up actually. They showed quite a bit of discipline, Inglewood. They just took their time.
11 minutes gone.
The number 6 had a charge and was held up, went back for the scrum. Old Boys got themselves offside, so the referee awarded the penalty. And twice in a row, Inglewood converted that penalty to a scrum put in. So they seem quite intent to sort of grind this Old Boys pack down a bit. And nice kick there on the number 10, Cody Hall. So Inglewood jump out to an 18-6 lead.
Now, boys, here we go. Go on, touch, let's get up a gear. Let's go, Jordan. Come on. Hope, come on. Let's get some shoulders going. Chatting up, my heads. Let's go. Talk to them, brothers.
So we're going to involve a bit of work here for Old Boys actually. They haven't had a lot of field position. Good kick by Waite, nice and high, holds up nicely in there. Rawlinks gets up, good lift there by the Inglewood number 4. And a big clean out. West organising his defenders at the ruck. The ball seems well out now, but he picks it up, puts a nice little nudge over the top. Oshie's back there, takes his time. Possibly a bit of an early charge, but contest in the air and he gets away with it. And good recycle actually out to number lot. Sorry, the prop. He's come on, Toby Burkett. And now the ball's out wide. And Waite saying, hey, let's just put it down there. Good chase by Cody Ray, taken by the 15. Good driving tackle by Ray, drives him back to the 22. And the Old Boys forwards pile in. They're over the top. West gets in there quickly. And ball out to their number 6. He flicks it out the back door. And Brent Tucker's right there to grab the ball. So Old Boys well placed here actually. Good tip on play, pass on play out to Waite. Straightens nicely.
Get on it, boys.
Goes to ground. And then Old Boys whip it out left again. Nice pass out to Adam Smith. He goes through the gap. Out to Brochia. And unfortunately he just forces himself wide. So it's a bit of a pity that Adam Smith didn't. He's out here on the left wing. Probably need a bit of a left foot nudge just down that sideline. He would have set up Brochia nicely because he was running full speed. So there's plenty of energy and effort in this game, that's for sure. Some of those Inglewood forwards are down to blowing a bit and down to a bit of a walk.
They can afford to, they got points on the board.
That's right.
Inglewood scrum.
And they're just doing a really good job, Inglewood, of setting the tone of the game and setting the speed of the game. So they're really just deliberately taking their time around these set plays. And Inglewood feed to the scrum, 3 metres out from their own 22. Good scrum there for Old Boys, nudges them back, puts a bit of pressure on West. He flicks it up to the number 12. Luke Brown. Good carry there by the Inglewood number 8, makes a couple of metres. And West back onto that left foot, nudges it down nicely. Adam Smith comes up, good take from him. Jumps sideways out to Daniel Waite, he goes back inside, he's got numbers. Decides not to use him out to Roy Lance, he charges on. Number 6 over the ball. Good pass there out to Brighouse, he runs up, carries it up nicely. Yeah, good run over the advantage line. Now Old Boys got a wee bit of momentum on Cody Ray, nice pass out to Daniel Waite, lovely pass out to Boshia. Boshia draws and just went behind the flying winger Carrington. It was a real pity actually. They just got disconnected slightly. I think Carrington might have been a bit surprised with the acceleration. And then Inglewood decided to bring it out the other way and they come charging them, mate. The number 14. Ooh, and he passes out to the number 8. He's got genuine speed. He's tearing down the sideline. And great infield kick, intelligent heads-up play. Well played, though, by number 15, Cody Ray. He comes up, takes the tackle. The 6 hits in hard. And Old Boys are in the ruck. You can see the ball. and the referee calls for possibly it was a trap ball, so the referee probably said, hey, the ball's not going to come out, and Old Boys had control, so we'll give them the ball. But man, what great play, counter-attacking play from Inglewood, and possibly the first time in about 2 years we've seen a centering kick from a number 8 and a really, really good chase. So 16 minutes into the second half. It's all action here at Bogletown Park.
Mainly up in the box.
Still 18 points to 6 from Inglewood, and they've come here as a really determined team. So they've got the reward of pressure, and they've sort of got this Old Boys side slightly rattled. They've contested everything. They've sent numbers into the second phase. They've got players over the ball. They've been able to slow down Old Boys' ruck ball. And good defence there from Ben West. He drags Boshu down. Kick over the top by Waite, and it's a bit of an unusual bounce. Goes sideways again. Number 14, McDonald, and a good angle tap from behind from Waite. Got him down on the ground on the 10-yard line. Not much on. There's absolutely nothing on West. He just pops the ball up to the big number 3. He's got enough strength to carry on. It looks like the number 1's going to have a pick and go. And he steps his way clear, flicks it out to McDonald. Back to the number 1. He's charging up under the post. And sets up a nice ruck. West, long pass out to the hooker. He steps back in twice. He should have gone wide. He had numbers, unmarked guys outside him. So once again, West fishing for the ball, but it spews out the Old Boys side. Charge down. And it's still on.
Let's go.
But luckily, Waite gets back. So, wow, that was all action play. The big number 3 from Inglewood rumbled it up. Set up a nice ruck. The number 1 had a look and said, yep, I'll pop and go. Fed a nice ball into the speedy winger, number 14, Michael McDonald, and he drew the fullback, passed it back to number 1, and Inglewood did everything then but score. So well done, Old Boys. They were able to secure possession from that ruck, and then the clearing kick was charged down. So good tackle there on the number 6 by the chasing Old Boys winger, and the number 10 just drops the ball nicely into that back corner, and Cody Ray comes across and says thanks very much, and he does a great kick downfield, takes it to the Inglewood 10 metre line. The fullback comes up and great pass to their winger. They've just split the Old Boys defences. Number 11, it's just a dummy and a run. There's no problem whatsoever. And that was possibly way too easy for Inglewood. They had numbers back on halfway. Old Boys weren't really able to stack up that defence down that right-hand side. The forwards certainly didn't have the pace to keep up with the backs. So well done, Inglewood. 20 minutes into the second half, and they score their 4th try of the game, and it's a cracker. Set up from halfway, and the number 11, Stephen Snoxall, showed plenty of pace actually.
That's 3 tries.
Yeah. Any bonus points?
So the 3rd try of the day for Inglewood, and Cody Hall, the number 10, who's had a good day scoring points, is looking to add the extra 2. Once again, he's a player that does take a lot of time with his kicks, that's for sure. And good chase by Old Boys. Maybe a dive there would have actually charged that down. So able to convert it over. And good return so far for Paul, as he collects 15 of the 25 of Inglewood's points. 22 minutes into the game, and Old Boys are going to have to pull something out of the hat against this very fired up Inglewood side, that's for sure. Good take there from Roylance, knocks the ball back. And wait up to Valentine. He has nothing on, just a wall of red jerseys. Makes a wee bit of momentum forward. At the Boschia, he steps through the gap, and a good fend actually. And he's able to get the ball on the ground. Good pass there from Daniel Waite, and lovely pass. Now they're on. They've got 2 on 1 out wide. How much pace has got out to Carrington? When he drifts back, does a nice job actually. Knocks him down. But Inglewood well offside actually. So offside in the forward defensive line. So it'll be interesting what Old Boys do here. They haven't actually had Inglewood under the pump for quite a while. They haven't had possession on the side of their 22, so I wouldn't be surprised if Daniel Waite is kicks for the corner and they hold on a drive. And that's exactly what Old Boys decide to do as they move down into that left-hand corner. So 25-6 to Inglewood. It'll be a long way back for Old Boys into the last 20 minutes of the game. And the line-out's been going pretty well. Forwards take their time getting up there. Lawson waits patiently on the sideline. Says, come on fellas, we've got a game to play.
Throw.
Boschia, yeah, lovely take by Boschia. Good drive on, good shape actually from the Old Boys pack. Takes the ball back, release to Waite, he looks both sides. It must be a bit of a Inglewood hand there, slowing the ball down out to 1-2 cut, straight in hard is 7-5. And good carry actually by the Old Boys prop. He gets round the corner out to Waite, he flicks it on, another prop, Brighouse, he makes a big charge. Going straight under the post at the moment, and the referee calls it up, and that was determined running, that's for sure. He got sort of hit sideways and then was able to straighten himself up and showed quite a lot of leg power actually to get himself under the post. So Old Boys just about pull one back, and the referee says no try, held up, and we'll go to a 5-metre scrum with Old Boys put in. Coming up to 24 minutes of running time into the last quarter of the game. So Old Boys will have to try and speed the game up. Inglewood have put in a lot of effort. The forwards have been amazingly determined today and constructive. So it'll be interesting to see who's got the most petrol in the tank in the last quarter of an hour of the game. Once again, the scrum collapses. So Old Boys in a strong position here under the Inglewood goalposts. Once again, it's taken forever to restart the scrum. I think the players, their front row, might be on a go slow today. They've run a lot of time off the clock just by sort of not being ready to get play restarted. So it could be an 8-9 going right. Set themselves up nicely. Old Boys are pushing hard, they're really pushing hard. Good control by Boschia, he's got the ball. The referee's awarded a penalty try, so good control there actually. It looks like a limping Caelan Boschia. Did really well. It was a gutsy effort by the Old Boys pack. Inglewood are not a scrum that can easily be pushed around. And Old Boys forward said, no, give us the ball. We'll roll our sleeves up and we'll get into it. So, penalty try, that's an automatic 7-pointer. And Inglewood trying to just run some time off the clock, just once again taking the time, giving their forwards a bit of recovery time. So 25-13 to Inglewood. with 15 minutes of play to go. Here's your number 10, Cody Hall. Great restart. Taken in by Roylands. He's been everywhere today. Good charge up, no problem whatsoever. The referee's really marginal call there. Just brushed past his own player. The referee said, sorry mate, you can't do that. You can't run behind another player. So we go to a scrum. And we're probably going to wait another 3 minutes before they scrummage. So unfortunately that play could be the game for Old Boys. They needed to get a positive restart. They needed a good kick reception, and they need to get territory really, really quickly to put a bit of pressure on. And what they've got instead is they've got Inglewood scrum on the 22 and the number 8 coming off out to West, out to the first 5. He cuts out to the blindside winger. He does a lovely step twice and then runs into Valentine. And you just have that same way. Number 8 does a bit of a dummy here, nice fend too. He makes yardage every time he runs with the ball, that's for sure. Referee's got his arm out for a penalty, so Inglewood playing under advantage. Takes out to the number 7. He's had a busy day today, is Jake White. And then they crush it up. The number 1's got lovely hands up to Avon Lewis. Good defence there by Northcote Hill, but Lewis is able to wriggle out of the tackle and send himself over. Wow. That was really disappointing play there by Old Boys.
Other soft try.
I don't think they really realised how close they were to their own goal line, because the defence, they just gave too much space for those big Inglewood forwards to get a bit of a roll on. It was a lovely touch play by the number 1, Shem Sedu. He did a nice little tip play off the side of the ruck, and that gave Inglewood the momentum out to their centre, Avon Lewis, and he just kept pumping his legs. So 28 minutes into the second half, and the number 10, Cody Hall, is lining up another conversion. And good charge by Old Boys, but not rewarded. And Cody Hall able to knock over another 2 points. So that was a great try by Inglewood. They just built themselves up nicely and just managed the way down the field. It came from a poor kick reception from Old Boys. And Daniel Wake restarts players. Great kick up on the 10. Boshi gets underneath it. Able to spoil their play. The referee calling advantage. Flicked out the back door by their lock and their 21, their new winger, David Stark, on the paddock. And Old Boys under advantage still. Good pass. And that's a lovely pass straight out to their winger. He charges down. The second 5 gets just about away. Tries to flick the ball in, but it's taken into touch. And 2 lovely passes actually create a bit of width and create a bit of an opportunity for Old Boys down that right-hand side. And Inglewood looked like they might be going to a short line out. So 5 of their big guys come in. Yeah, nice take there by the number 19, Rhodes Featherstone. And not a great kick from their first 5. He accidentally kicks it into one of his own players. So the referee says no advantage to Old Boys. Will go to a scrum. And Old Boys will pack a scrum down on the Inglewood 22. So 32-13. 12 minutes of play to go. If Old Boys want to get themselves into the game, they're going to have to score from here and then try and create 2 quick tries. But the way this Inglewood side's been defending, it's going to be extremely difficult. And once again, a bit of bad luck, a good hustle by Ben West. He's been busy behind the Inglewood pack today. He's put a lot of pressure on the Old Boys loosies and using his experience. Take from the back of the scrum by Bosia up to the midfield, and good recycle from Old Boys actually. Charge up by Toby Beckett. He's being held up at the moment, he's on his knees. There's no real clear release there, but Inglewood just trying to slow the play down. Nice pop out pass into the all out, so he makes some good yardage actually, and Inglewood playing all over the ball and it's penalised for it, and the referee says come back because you weren't on the mark. And a bit of a sun shower comes in, so makes things a little slippery.
It kicked.
And Waite just takes the ball to touch. So line out, 5 metres out from the Inglewood goal line.
Throw.
And a good throw. Taken nicely by the 2-man Brad Valentine. A bit of a drive up. Inglewood getting a bit of a roll on, but Old Boys punching up. They're adding extra players to the maul at the moment. It's in control at the back of the maul. They're about a metre out. And the halfback, yeah, good play there. Still edging their way up. And just nice and easy. And Inglewood come and wrap him up now, and he dives over the line. And the referee says, hey, it's a collapsed maul, you're not over the line. So Inglewood, you can have the scrum ball. So possibly got a wee bit of white line fever there, Old Boys. They had unmarked men down the left-hand side, but not sure what sort of calls came in. 34 minutes, 6 minutes of play. And once again, it just seems to take an age to reset some of these plays. So Inglewood defeat to the scrum, 5 metres out from their own line. Sitting on a pretty handy lead at the moment, 32-13, and they've done really, really well to earn those points. Number 8 comes off, gets past Waite, charges into their midfield. Good clean out actually, and then their first five's back over the other side, not a lot of pressure on him. He's able to knock it, but it's not going to go out. David Stark under the ball when he steps into touch.
Yes, good call, Touchy.
And a bit of bad luck there actually. Looked like he had a pair of boots that slid and just touched the touch line. And good clearance kick by Inglewood number 10, who's played well today, Cody Hall. He peels off the best part of 40 metres, and Inglewood get the throw to the line out. They're taken down nicely by the 17 from Inglewood, Ian Burmeister. Good left-hand kick into the corner, and Inglewood are just sort of shutting up shop here. They're just restricting the opportunities for Old Boys to play the game. Good turnover from the attacking line-out that Old Boys had, and they went to a scrum. Great charge up by the number 8, came run straight into the Old Boys midfield.
Play intelligent rugby.
And yeah, they've just really come here to play today, and they're playing rugby that's so effective for them. Good take by Boshier. Legs taken out, crashes the ground out to Waite. Waite flicks it up to Burkett. He has a bit of a charge. And then old boys are lined up. I don't know why they're going back to Waite. He's kicking for touch. And it's a lovely kick. It's not quite out. Good. Up to West, he has a look. Passes out to the second five. He's done well today, nice and straight. Flicks it up back to West. 10 more plays, so unfortunately we're still on the ground. So 22. He's running backwards with looking at the ref saying, come on mate, you've got to be joking. It's Danny Nichols rather. And once again, old boy's just sort of given the ball back to Inglewood and says, hey, help yourself.
Come, boys!
So heavy shower now, just what the players need at the end of a hard-fought game. 3 minutes of play, and Inglewood just inside the old boys' half. And replacement number 18, Halen Keeling. He comes on, 18, Joseph Pokai, Josiah Pokai. He comes on for number 7, Brad Valentine. He's had a pretty handy game today. And Inglewood run their first loose forward.
5, 2, 6, 3. Yeah!
Good charge up here by David Stark, actually from the line out, and a bit of a clean out. And the forwards coming over the top. Specy conditions now. Mawson goes up, goes to ground quickly, assisted by Boshier. It's out to the Waite brothers, and good charge actually. Inglewood is so quick over the ball at the moment. Waite has a bit of a look, nothing on there. Got by the Inglewood number 8, goes to ground, and then out to Daniel Waite. He sees a little hole, sneaks through, no offload available. Turns in the tackle. Brickhouse, X's halfback, Sean Waite, bit of a dummy. Not much on there. Good clean out though from old boys. Inglewood try and come over the top, but there's nothing on for them. And JJ Pokai on the ground, on the game for the first time. He takes the ball up, good carry out to the midfield. Not much on. It's just a massive Inglewood players out there at the moment. So trying to go side to side, old boys, but not a lot on. Back out to Waite. He has a look. And Williams does well to issue his way through. And the referee steps in and penalises the winger for old boys for coming over the top and sealing the ball off. So a bit of a interesting finish to the game. Inglewood just defending like their lives depend on it, and they've done really well. Because at the moment they've got old boys going nowhere, and once again they've got the throw to the line out.
One to go. Two to go.
So Inglewood throw to the line out. And lift their walk quite high, and they get good shape with him more and drive him forward, and they move back to number 17 who's showing good control, and that's a very, very good driving ball by Inglewood. They're just throwing players out of the way at the moment. Out to West, he does a lovely cut out pass to 10. He spots a bit of a hole, great tackle, and picked up by the reserve fullback. There's a look, and another double intercept. Passes it out to the Argentinian winger. He tries to go around, does a nice job of going around the old boys, flicks it back in, and wow, what a great try from Inglewood. the number 11, Stephen Snoxall. So I've certainly come here to play Inglewood, and that's what they've done. That was great support, tremendous support in rugby. They cut off the Old Boys attack. There was a intercept midfield, and everyone thought Old Boys were going to be under the posts. Their 22, Sean White, he did a pass up, was intercepted by the 13 for Inglewood, Avon Lewis, and he fed it out to
Who you got, Nick?
Jorge Jaff from Argentina, and he did a nice break down that left-hand side, and the winger, the number 11, Stephen Snoxall, he came from nowhere, take the last pass, run the last 20 metres, and quite a comprehensive win here by Inglewood today.
Thank you, Mick.
That's it.
There's a new kicker. Strikes the ball well and sends it between the posts.
And that is full time, people.
And that's full time. And the score 39, Inglewood 13 to Old Boys. So ended up a great victory here today at Vogeltown Park from Inglewood. They turned up determined and they played well as a team. The defence was first class and thoroughly deserved the win. Well done all the players.
All right, Philip.
Thank you.
Well done, Philip.
Thanks very much.
Well done, mate.
Stop recording.
Yep.
See you in the semis, I think.
Oh, actually,
Right.
Old boys second.
Nice.
We'll probably